Hi, everyone. So I'm coming on here to share my daughter's Rapture dream. She had the dream back August 5th of 2020. And, I shared it with family, close family, and shared it, I think, on Facebook on a Christian women's group. But I've never shared it on YouTube. And lately I've just felt a tugging from the Lord that I needed to share it. So a little background before I get into the dream itself. So she just turned 4. So her birthday's in June and this dream happened in August. So she had just turned 4 and I was sleeping in her bed with her. Sometimes during that time I would sleep with her in her bed, and I woke up and we have a Nest Cam, which is like one of those baby cameras in her room. And so it actually recorded, and I have a little video of the dream or her recalling the dream to me the next morning. So what I did was the next morning, after she had told me the dream, while we were still laying in her bed, I wrote it down, and I had to listen to it a bunch of times because it's kind of hard to hear through the recording, but I did the best I could, and I got most of it down, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually share the video as well. But basically, and during this time, so I just came back to Christ in July of 2020. So it was only, a few weeks later, and I knew about the rapture. I knew the rapture was going to happen soon. I know it's going to happen soon. But I myself am not a huge fan of rapture dream. Like, I didn't want to have a rapture dream because I was afraid. I pray about this with the Lord, and I said, God, I don't want a rapture dream because I don't want to feel like disappointed. Like, I don't want to be, so excited I'm getting raptured and then wake up and it's not real, So I never prayed for myself to have a rapture dream. And he knew I didn't want one. And my daughter, I had just barely started praying with her more and bringing her to church and talking about Jesus, but I never told her about the rapture. I never talked about it in front of her or watched videos or anything in front of her. So the fact that she had this dream, it blew my mind, and there was some things in it that I just was not even aware of. So first of all, I just wanted to share this quote, or this Bible verse. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, saith God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Acts 2:17. Okay, so we were in the clouds, and she says, we're in the clouds with Jesus. And so I asked her, how did we get up there? And she said, it was just the stars fall down, but the sky didn't bleed. It just turned red. The houses were crushed. A hammer came down from the sky, and then the strangers began to die. The strangers die when the stars fell down, and when the houses fall down, they were in pieces. When the houses, they can't go back, and we will go up to Jesus. I want to go up to Jesus. So basically, she's saying that the houses were crushed so bad that they could not go back together. They were in pieces, and the houses could not go back together. And this really scared me. I was like, what? And she says a hammer came down from the sky. So I was like, okay, I'm curious what she saw. So I Googled hammer, and I showed her, the first image of a hammer. And I said, honey, is this what you saw? And I'll show you the picture. And she was like, no. She had no idea what that was. She was like, no. And so I showed her all the other pictures of a hammer. And, of the when you just Google hammer and go to images, and it's just like hammers. And she was like, no, like she did not recognize it at all. Like she had no idea what a hammer was. And then it just dropped in my spirit. I was like, what if she's not talking about a hammer? What if she saw a gavel? And so I showed her this picture and I said, is this what it was? And she lit up and she was just like, yes, that's what I saw. It came down from heaven and it crushed, or it came down from the sky and it crushed the houses. So, all right, here's the video and hopefully, let's see. Hopefully you can hear it.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited. Mama, I had a dream about Jesus.
You did? What was the dream?
I was up in the cloud with Jesus all day. Always. You were up there, and Daddy and Layla, and Kai was up there too. And Kaylee too, Mommy. We were up in the clouds. So what's up with the and Grandma doing her down kids?
What about Grandma downstairs? Was she good? Was she with Jesus too?
Yeah, she was on a different cloud.
She was on a different cloud.
Yeah, let's go. God is on a different cloud.
How did we get up there?
The stars fall down. But the sky didn't bleed red.
Really?
The house is like a flesh. And then a beautiful hammer in the sky. And then the stars there begin to die.
Oh.
Stars die when the stars fall out. When the houses fall down, they go like into pieces. I don't know how I can burn a house, but they can't go back. But if it breaks, we might go up to Jesus. If we have wings, I really want to go to Jesus. He's my favorite God.
I want to go to Jesus too, honey. We will.
So right after this video, I just went straight to write it down. And you could see I was like getting uncomfortable because I just was like, what is going on? What is she saying? I didn't know a lot of that stuff. So I wanted to read a couple things. So I'm going to read Matthew. Let's see. Hang on one second. Okay, Matthew 16, 2-3. It says, He answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, It will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red, and and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the signs of the times. So I had no idea about the sky being red. That freaked me out when I read that. And let's read Mark 13. Let's see. Mark 13:25. And the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. The powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. So I did not know about the stars falling. This actually says, if you read a couple verses up, but in those days, well, the next verse up, I guess. So verse 24. But in those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall, and the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken. And one last thing I wanted to read was Isaiah 13. Okay. Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. So, here's that verse again. But it freaked me out because I hadn't talked to her about the rapture, and she had no idea what it meant. And I asked that you guys take it to the Lord in prayer and, discern for yourself what it means. I know that he's coming soon, and I know that he's pouring out his spirit onto all flesh and, giving us all dreams. Like I explained earlier, I have prayed to God that, I don't want a rapture dream. Like, do not give me a rapture dream, because I just don't want to wake up and be sad that it didn't really happen. But I actually was given a rapture dream, and I'm going to make another video and go into detail about what that was. And I was not mad that he gave it to me, because it was one of those dreams where I actually woke up and I was grateful that it wasn't real, which sounds bizarre, but you'll understand when you hear the dream. But anyways, guys, I believe that's all. But thanks for listening, and God bless.